Yeah, I think we're live now. So first of all, I would like to greet all the audience and our speakers and welcome to the GameTech Forum as a part of Azerbaijan Innovation Week. As you know, InnoWeek held with the initiative of the Ministry of Transport, Communications and High Technologies and jointly organized by the United Nations Development Program to spread innovative ideas in our country, expand the startup movement, develop innovative thinking among young people. So today's topic is entertainment of the future game. What are the latest trends in the gaming sector? First, I would like to introduce today's discussion panel speakers. So we have priceless speakers today from brother country, Turkey. So first speaker is Mr. Özgür Karayalçın, Business Development Director of VL Media in Turkey, which is a mobile technology company with fabulous social mobile applications and video games such as Highway Racer, World of Riders, Racer Underground, and has more than 150 million users globally. Our second speaker is Mr. Efe Küçük. So he's a co-founder and leader of 3 separate companies with 3 other partners in Turkey, such as High Games, which is a hyper-casual game studio, Funmas Games, which is a mid-core game studio, and Game Factory, which is a game startup incubator that has 42 teams and 1,300 plus members. And at last, our third speaker is Mr. Murat Kahraman. He's a game industry veteran and senior executive with over 20 years of experience. He's a founder of Game Factory, which is the largest game development incubator accelerator of Turkey for top indie game startups who are looking to supercharge their game business. And also Mr. Murat Kahraman and Efe Küçük, they are colleagues and they are working together. And at the end, about myself as a moderator, today's GameTech's first discussion panel. My name is Zaur Orojov. I'm the founder and the managing director of Love Studios, which is Land of Fire Studios, located in Baku, Azerbaijan, and which is a resident of Pirallahi High Technologies Park. The first ever in the region, multifunctional high-tech studio specialized on social mobile applications, video games development, and other high-tech digital products with the projects under development, Project Bob, massive multiplayer online vehicular combat, multi-genre video game, and also motion capture technology studio for making other kind of video games and animation movies. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to our forum.
Thank you.
After the introduction, we can talk about our topic, which is games. So, as you know, as you and all of our audience knows, that game industry is almost limitless. It's like all generations in all age groups are playing different kind of games, and of course, especially video games. Nowadays, majority of the Earth's population has devices for playing games like personal computers, consoles, mobile phones, and it shows that the game itself, it's like rough to say, it is addiction. But the subject, bad or good or useful addiction the game is, we can decide later on. My first question will come to Mr. Özgür, and also I want to just explain my question to Mr. Özgür. So according to Microsoft and Newzoo, 1/3 of the Earth's population are gamers. Gaming revenues were forecasted top over 159 billion United States dollars by the end of 2020. But this prediction was before pandemic, and this prediction has swelled to a staggering 170 billion and more United States dollars to the end of 2020 because of COVID-19, unfortunately, but fortunately for us. And it means that game industry was quite profitable before pandemic, and now even more profitable in compare with other industries, and most likely it will grow more and more and more. So my first question is to Mr. Özgür, as a business development specialist, how you can comment the reasons of this growth. It's like everybody stays at home and playing games? And also, what's your view about the growth for next 5-10 years? And also, our main question of our discussions: how do you see the future of gaming as entertainment?
Thank you very much for this invitation, first of all. It's really a great honor for me and for our association and for my company to be with you here. And actually, as a brother country, as you said, we always feel the same things, what you feel for all kind of the situations. I don't want to say in details. Okay, let me start then with your question. As you said, the game industry is increasing day by day, the market size. And I think that it's not just because of the pandemic. It was always like this before, and it will be. And I believe that it's because of this mobile age. Because previously, people didn't have a chance to reach games, not all people. Because a good gaming PC is actually relatively expensive to reach for lots of people in the world, billions of people in the world, and consoles as well, the same. So, and in the last year, we got new tax in Turkey with consoles, so it's also really difficult for the young people to reach consoles. So, when you think that mobile phones, everybody has it. Everybody has in their pocket one mobile phone, and they can reach mobile games. And lots of people, millions of people, they never play the game until they had a mobile phone. They met with the games with these mobile phones. Like in the past, we met with Ataris, Tetris in the past. Now they are facing these games with mobile phones. And after that, the industry is getting bigger and bigger in the last year. And I think half of the industry is coming now from mobile game. So the mobile game market size is increasing day by day. And if you think that lots of people in the world who are using mobile phones, they don't have now, lots of them don't have any credit card, or they are not connected to financial systems, payment systems, so they cannot spend money. So in the future, they will have credit cards, more people will have credit cards, more people will have connection with these payment systems. So we can say that the market will increase more and more in the future. And it's not just because of the pandemic. Of course, the pandemic boosted it a little bit, we can say. And our companies and we as well got lots of new users in the past, in this year, in 2020, because of pandemic, and lots of people are staying at home and they are spending their time at home. But it's not just the pandemic. It's the matter of people who are meeting games for the first time. So you are mute.
Yeah, thank you very much for your priceless speech, and detailed speech. And yes, that's true. That I also agree with you that their credit cards also for the global users and global players, it is a very important point that everyone will spend money, and everyone will use more other games and will download more other games, and they will have a chance to pay more and more and more. And also, yeah, of course, it will increase the market revenue of the games. Again, thank you very much for your detailed speech. And now I want to shift to another important point. So while looking at top 10 most played game genres globally, like mostly we can see battle arena, battle royale, like a shooter, vehicular combat, and other genres. Also, we know that Mr. Efe, he specialized on casual and mid-core game development. So, Mr. Efe, what do you think about it? And if there's any new genres will be in trend during next 5 years, and what kind of genres there can be? So, and also as a casual game specialist, it's interesting to know your view of future gaming as entertainment.
First of all, thank you for your question and your invitation. It is an honor to be here with you today and with our brother country, as Özgür said.
My pleasure. My
It's
pleasure.
the honor for myself personally and for my company. So thank you once more. And let's talk about the question that you just mentioned. Me myself, I work the most on hyper casual titles, but I also work in the esports zone, and we also have a mid-core game that we are building for a while right now. I think we should separate these genres like in PC and mobile because there's lots of different mechanics in both of genres. If you are going to talk about PC and console genres, I can tell that MOBA and FPS is still rising. MOBA, as you know, is multiplayer online battle arena, which is games like League of Legends, Dota 2, and other games like that. I think these mechanic games, have a very special thing that it can deliver unique experience on every round. I just discussed this actually subject yesterday with Kaan Kural, which is the forecaster of League of Legends tournaments, and he said something really good. He just said a really good quote about this. He said that MOBA games and FPS games are delivering unique experiences every game, every single match. It's just like a football game. You can sit and watch three separate different football games, and on each game you will have a different experience. You will see different positions, you will see different goals, different saves. And for MOBA and FPS games that are currently in the esports arena, it's the same thing. You will always see different experiences, and this is because of the diversity in the game mechanics and of the amount of game mechanics within the game. For mobile, I think it's also going the same way because uh, as you know, hyper casual industry grew really, really big, and it's literally boomed in our country and also globally. And I think this will also convert to something more in the future, and that's why I expect to mobile games to have also separate and more mechanics, just like on PC games. For example, Brawl Stars is probably the biggest and the best example that can show you the growth of mobile games. It is also the best example for a mobile game. And I think they will keep growing. They don't have so much complex mechanics right now, but it still delivers unique experience. And I think it will also keep growing in the esports arena. So for the short future, I expect more games like Brawl Stars, maybe strategy games. As you know, a week ago, Legends of Runeterra and also League of Legends Wild Rift, the mobile version of the League of Legends, also released in our area, which means there will be more and more games delivered. Because as you know, League of Legends is a pretty complex game when you compare it to other mobile casual games. So I think the casual players on mobile will start converting and will start playing more complex games, which will also feed and help the PC and console gamers. And the booming industry in mobile will help also PC and console to grow in the future because those players will be transferring to this area. So that's the number one thing that I'm happy with because mobile and PC and console, they are not in a fight. They are together. They are growing each other. They are feeding each other. And for the next future, I expect the MOBA and FPS industries to grow. And for mobile, I'm expecting more complex games.
I agree with you 100%, and also as I can tell about it, like we are specialized on FPS games, of course, also, and my opinion is there's always before now there's a fixed game genres like for age, like for also PCs and consoles. I'm not talking about mobiles now. There's a fixed game genres even were before, like. I think my opinion is for the future, what can be, it can be like a mixing of current genres, like for developing like a multi-genre game. So like it can be fixed like vehicular combat, like a battle royale, battle arena shooter or some to mix all together. And also in our company now, our project is we are doing the same thing now. We're mixing like a vehicular combat with a battle arena, and actually with this we are just taking all the different genre lover players together.
I think it's a great idea, and like
Yeah.
the latest game of Riot Games, Valorant, is a good example for that. It's a mixture of FPS mechanics and other mechanics.
Exactly. So thank you, Mr. Efed. So my third question is to Mr. Murat, and also I want to explain about the question first. So nowadays, to become a successful game developer and a publisher is achievable for all indie game developers. Of course, if you have a really good idea and concept of the game, and if you have a good team which concentrated to the success, and of course, good plan and marketing strategy. So, Mr. Kahraman, you are as a founder of a game factory, and which is the largest game development incubator accelerator in Turkey for top indie game startups. What do you think about the potential for success of current beginner developers in Turkey? And I don't know, do you know something about Azerbaijan developers? And you can say about them as well. And what's your view for success to become a world-known game developer for beginners? And as we know, even in Turkey, there's a really good example, which the studio Peak Games, they started development from zero, and at last they've been merged with a big publisher as a Zynga, with a record amount of income, like a 1.8 billion United States dollars. And also we'd like to hear about your opinion about the future of gaming as entertainment.
Actually, Turkey is a rising star at the game industry at the moment. Can you hear me? Am I freezed now? Is it okay now?
Yeah. Did you hear the question before?
Yeah, I hear. So to become a successful game company is not easy actually. Game industry is an easy industry to enter, but a hard one to be successful. You have to work hard and you have to work with good partners. And the main topic of a game company is to find a good game. You need a good game, but a good game, even the best game, is not enough to be successful. So first of all, you have to focus to make good games, actual best games, as Peak does, as other Turkish companies does, as Masono does. And then you have to work hard on it. And at the moment, the new game companies are much more luckier than the old ones, because the ecosystem is much different than maybe 3 years ago or 2 years ago. Now we have a lot of partners, a lot of support from publishers, from investors, especially in Turkey. After the success of Turkish studios, everybody is following the game industry in Turkey at the moment, every investors and global publishers. And now to be successful, just start to make games, and then you will find out the way actually. And in Game Factory, we are helping for the young people just to find their way. And we have also some participants from Azerbaijan at the moment, and we have some studios from Azerbaijan in Game Factory. And from here, I want to invite the others, and Azerbaijan studios are always welcome in Game Factory.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, that's true that now most of the investors and actually, now it's the 21st century, and everyone knows that the gaming, the income from game industry is really huge. And unfortunately, like a prior generation, they don't know about it. They don't understand about it. And the new generations, they know about it. And that's why the investments to the gaming industry now is increasing. So also, I would like to hear from you about what what you think about the future of gaming as entertainment, the growth of the gaming.
Yeah, the growth. Actually, the growth, the industry, the market will keep continuously growing, I guess, because the market is growing. Also, the sources are growing. Now, so many investors and governments are supporting game developers because everybody sees that gaming is a very, very good industry and you can make money from it. And you can make good money from gaming. So everyone is looking game development as a business now. Before that, many investors were not interested to invest in gaming companies. Now they are. The government support is very good now at the moment in Turkey, and they want also because gaming is a really good export items for the governments. And it's the time to grow, and it's a very good time to make investment in gamings and to just start startups for gamings. That's the case at the moment.
Agree with you. Like, right, you're right that the governments also they support gaming studios. Now, even in Azerbaijan, this tendency is started recently. Our Love Studios, we were the first company, the gaming studio company, which were we accepted as a resident of a technology park in Azerbaijan and also exempted from all kind of taxes. So this is a very huge support from the government. So
Do you accept Turkish companies?
of course, why not? so thank you very much, Mr. Kahraman. And coming back again to the different strategies created by game developers. It's like while you are developing the game, you have to think about your future consumers who will play your game. And you have to ask to yourself, why people has to play my game? It's like you have to be your first customer. You have to play your game first and you think, why really others has to play my game? So mostly the answer for this question lies under 2 points. First is the quality. We can even open this understanding of quality and talk about these hours, like quality is a very big understanding. But let's take general understanding that first of all, game needs to be in high quality. And the second most important point is properly planned marketing strategy. In game industries, there are too many marketing types, of course, but again, let's talk generally as our time is limited. So there is, my question will be to Mr. Karayalcin, Özgür. So there is generally accepted myth that you have to spend from 100 to 200% of the cost of the development of your game to achieve success in your game. So even, for example, if you spend like, let's assume $2 million, you have to spend like $4 or $6 million to the marketing to achieve really good result. And what do you think? Like about specific marketing for games, or are there any new types of the new rules for the marketing, and also how much does it really may cost to achieve high sales and or download goals, as we know that you already reached 150 million downloads globally?
Well, Zar, as you said, previously it was just a matter of developing a good game. If you produce a good game, then people see it and start to play, then you can earn money. But with the mobile age, every day, maybe hundreds of, maybe thousands of games are uploaded to the systems, to the stores, to app stores, to Google Play stores. So you are just one of them. So
Mostly they are not doing the proper marketing. So most of them, they are not downloading.
And lots of people don't see them, and maybe there should be some good games out of these thousands of games, but nobody can see them. If people cannot see, of course they don't play and they don't get any money. That's the thing. But what I suggest people who want to join this industry, it's not just game development, as you said. But of course, it's not just marketing. So there are it's a multidisciplinary sector industry. So there is game development. It's very important. It should be stable and bug-free, your game. And there is marketing, as you said. And you should have a product team which finally help you to have a perfect product. And you will have a test team. Don't forget this test team. And finally, maybe the most important thing is you will need to have a data team. Data is the now biggest source. So marketing is a tool. I believe that marketing is a tool that you receive the data. So you can have you can design a. Sorry, I forgot the design team. Of course, you need to have a very good design team. So you can design a very nice game perfectly. Everything is perfect. That your team believes perfect. I mean, that doesn't mean that millions of people will play it. So what we do is we do tests, A/B tests, and we see if it's really good for the market or not. That's very important. Making a test. For this, you need to spend money, and you need to have you need to use the marketing tools. You can use, of course, you can use lots of things. You can create perfectly videos of your games to use in the marketing, or you can work with influencers, and you can work with YouTubers. And I mean, on the digital marketing, there are lots of ways of doing this. None of them is right or wrong. I mean, you should use all of them and try which one is perfectly matched with your game. And that's what
you have to burn the cash. Of course, you have to burn the cash for the.
Unfortunately, it's like that sort. And if you don't have cash, you need to get an investment, or you need to work with a publisher. That's what you cannot escape. You need money in this industry. This is not before. Previously, in like 10 years ago in Turkey, people were thinking like that. I mean, it's a young, it's an enjoyable thing for young people, like startup gaming for young people. But it's not like that. You need to have a big amount of money, and you need to have you need to spend really big money for the marketing. And there are lots of tools, of course, to spend marketing. But if you don't do this, you cannot have a data. And if you don't analyze the data, you never know you made a perfect game or not. So you need to get the data first, and then see what users are doing on your game. And of course, you need to continue development by getting help from those data. That's what we are doing. And of course, we are spending lots of money for nothing, but we are learning how to do for the new games, or for the new versions of our games. That's the way you need.
No, I don't think so that you are spending money for nothing. Of course, it's not money for nothing. So you have to spend this to learn something, and to make some mistakes, and to learn on these mistakes. And this is your investment to your game, actually.
Marketing, Zor, and marketing trends are changing every day, and
Exactly.
new
and
types
also
of marketing.
I want to tell you one thing, that when we are all like using phones, or using while you are watching a YouTube, there's popping up some advertisement. When you see the game, like there's a very nice advertisement which spent very big money for this advertisement. When you download this game and you see that the game is really not very high quality, but you download this game and you start to play. This is the marketing, like not high quality, but you paid for marketing and you got your goal. Marketing is really.
You need to have a team who has a know-how on marketing, and you need to, of course, feed data team with this marketing results. That's very important. So lately, what we say is the price of your users is everything. If you cannot decrease this price, your game will not succeed for sure. Then you should see your game and start a new one.
Exactly.
Like we are not doing hyper casual, we are doing mid-core, by the way. But of course, Efe and Murat, they know better. In hyper casual, you need to switch really fast. You need to be fast, and in 10 days, 20 days, you have to decide for the new game.
Yeah, right. And also the marketing, you have to think about the new marketing types. Every day also it's changing, and also there is a new marketing, a new brains is coming, and there is this is also you have to approach psychologically. So I can tell you really big challenge it is. So my opinion about the marketing, we have to think even more deep, like as I can tell one of my favorite works being done for humanity. It's of course, it's not about the marketing, but can be also used in this. It's about the choice architecture. There's one work, it calls Nudge, done by Nobel Prize winner American economist, it is Richard Thaler, which asks us to use psychological analysis of consumers to be sure what and how exactly you will sell your particular product. In our case, it's this game. So it means that you have to know, like as you told, like it is a data. So you have to know the data, what people love, how they usually do it, and you need to have an access to this data, of course. Like if you know the people, what wants people, like okay, there is some studios, they do some games. Why they do this game? Because they love to do this game. But no, it's not a true way. You have to look to the public. You have to think. You have to approach globally, like what people want. If you want to get a success, it's not only you like it. You have to see what others like. Yeah, so it's really big challenge. So
you need to follow the trends, Zor, as you say.
Exactly.
You should look what people are consuming, what people are using, playing.
Exactly.
Very right.
Exactly. So my next question to Mr. Efe about useful technologies in game development. Are there any new revolutionary technologies in game development? Like I'm talking about the hardware or software, or even any kind of new type of algorithms, like which will change industry entirely. Even if there are no new technologies, what do you think about current ones? Like there is 3D scanning now. Before, all the 3D artists or all other artists, they were doing it like manually by hand. Now there is a technology of 3D scanning. Also motion capture. The animation artists, they were doing everything by hand, but now there's a motion capture technology. And also adding to the motion capture technology, there's a real player motion technology, and also motion matching technology. Like there's too many technologies coming for the gaming industry. So like what do you think? What are the new technologies which can change this industry entirely?
For mobile, as you probably guess, we are using Unity. So
Yes.
I'm mostly seeing Unity in my office, in my work. I'm not a developer myself. I'm more into the game design and the game itself. But I'm I can see that lots of things are starting to grow since we also have close connections with game engines like Unity. And there's always more opportunities building. Just like an example, there's another game engine called Buildbox. I think Buildbox is right now an easy way to build your hyper casual idea as a very first prototype, or you can even use it as a GDD to show your developers what are you actually thinking about. If you don't know game development, I think it is probably one of the best ways to try something out. And also, Unreal Engine is also going the same way. There's Blueprint systems, and we are also building our mid-core game with Unreal Engine. They are good on separate sides, I think, and there's lots to compare. And I also know that there's lots of fans of each engines, and they are also sometimes arguing with each other, even in our office. So I really don't want to make a comment like this is better or this is good for this is good for this. But I can tell you one thing that Unity is probably the most flexible and the ideal one for mobile right now. We are developing a mobile game with Unreal 2, but for fast prototyping or titles like Hyper Casual, which are pretty basic games to produce and consume, I think Unity is the best way to go. And for GameTech, gaming softwares, it's booming. I think AI is still taking over the businesses in a good way. As Murat also knows, there's lots of game technology companies coming up, just like our friends at Nava, which is there's an artificial intelligence that is working while the players boarding to the game, and that tool simply analyzes the player and diversifies the player. Like this player is going to spend this. This player is going to do this. This player is not a whale, as you know, we call whales, the ones that's spending. This player is not a whale, so we should show him some ads. And there's also lots of performance and monetization and balancing technologies just like this. They still keep growing. There's technologies for creating DDDs and checking the game balance out, like um, machinations.io. I love to use it too. And there's more to be coming up. And I think this is a good thing because, as Özgür mentioned, data is the biggest thing. And when you have millions of players, you need to have groups, you need to have diversifiers. You need to have a group A, you need to have a group B, and they should have different game experiences in order to monetize them. So if the player A is not going to spend and not willing to spend, and player B is going to spend, I would like to show player A ad instead of in-app purchases. For player B, I want to show him more offers to make him purchase something. So I think this the diversifying very important, and for analyzing data and using it, the tools are becoming more and more powerful, and they are a must gaming for us to analyze it better.
Yeah, actually, you started to talk about the game engines. Well, my next question also was about the game engines. I wanted to give it to Mr. Murat, and also you together. Also, you're from the same company. You can answer the same to this question together. It's like you talked about this engines like a Unity. I know that mostly people they use the Unity and also this coding language of the C#, which is more like people more it's useful for the people, but also there is an Unreal Engine. For my opinion, Unreal Engine gives more and more for me, it's Unreal Engine more better than Unity for me.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, also when we develop our project Bob alpha phase, we developed in Unity, and we are planning to shift it to Unreal. Why? Not only for one reason that Unreal good. Unreal Engine recently they announced their 5th generation engine, like, and everyone waits for it to see like what's Unreal Engine 5 will be, because there are really people has an expectations from Unreal Engine, like Epic Games, who is the owner of Unreal Engine. They promised really revolutionary feature such as rendering of triangles with dynamic scaling very quickly, which will allow developers to use high poly assets before, you know, that because of the high poly that your game will crash, you know. even in Unity, in Unreal Engine, the rendering techniques in these engines are very not bad, but not not perfect. But now Unreal Engine, they promise really dynamic scaling. Even you know that recently they put a trailer for their engine, and really we were all shocked, like how. So you can use the filming assets which we use, like movie makers use in movies, we can use the same assets in the games. So the quality of the games will be like I cannot imagine how it will be very high. So there is another way, and also my team and my programmers, coders of my team, they also tell me about it, and it's also their dream. How about developing your own game engine? Like if you have your own, it is for sure it is a very big challenge, and you need to have like you need to spend too much time to develop your own game engine. But we see that some of the companies, they do it, they are using their own game engines. I want to know your opinion also, Mr. Murat. You can answer to this question, or Mr. Efe.
It is okay if I can start. On the game engines is about what genre, what kind of games you are developing, and what needs you are having at the moment. If you are developing a hyper casual game, you don't need to power or the skills of Unreal Engine, but you need the speed of the Unity actually. And if you are developing a mid-core game or a AAA, maybe you need the skills, the power of the Unreal Engine, and you switch to that. But if you are not developing a AAA game, which needs more creative space or extra control in the engine, and if you don't have a large amount of supply for budget, time, and a great team, I couldn't suggest starting to develop your own game engine, because it will take a lot of money, time, and they are not enough. You need to have a great team. And we have Unity, we have Unreal Engine, and their capacity and skills are quite good enough for indie studios like us. And sometimes for even some AAA games like PUBG or Fortnite. So we choose to use those game engines just to focus on games.
Thank you, Mr. Mel. Also, Mr. Efe, what you can add for it?
I'm definitely agreeing with Murat actually, because developing your game engine is actually a big deal. I can definitely understand that it gives you certainly a freedom, certainly a more way to do something yourself, create something for yourself on your own. It's the biggest freedom. It's like dreaming. It's just like you create what you want like this. But it is what it seems. In the behind of it, you need lots of years to grow this game engine, to specialize this game engine, and to make it actually work. And afterwards, you also have to build the game with them. So I think it's not a good choice for small studios, but for AAA studios like, let's say, CD Projekt Red, anyone else, it's definitely, it can be a good option. As Murat mentioned, you need to have money, time, and a really good technical team in order to do that. And for now, for our game, I think Unreal Engine and Unity Engine is definitely enough. But if we ever need freedom and we have the capabilities to do so, why not?
Thank you, Mr. Efe.
Thank you.
So there is also some questions from our viewers, which from Facebook I got it. This one is about the monetization. And also it's really, for me also, it's very interesting. And I can ask it from Mr. Özgür, that what kind of like monetization types, like there is a question was a different one, but I want to just to change the question about the monetization. You know that there is a different kind of monetizations in the mobile games, let's see, like ad-based monetization or in-game, like you have the player has to buy some coins or just to remove the ads, or ad-based monetization, like from ads you got some, you know, some money from the ads. What do you think? What is the best way to monetizing your game? Mr. Özgür.
Zor, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
But I couldn't hear you. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
I had a
Yeah, I
problem
can,
with my
yes.
connection. Sorry, really.
No problem. No
I
problem.
got lost.
Yeah, no problem. I can just repeat the question. It's about the monetization.
Please.
Like there is in Facebook, there was one Mr. Kamal. He asked a question about the monetization, and but I just want to change the question, like it's a more general way, like about the monetization model. Like there is different kind of monetization in mobile games. It's like ad-based monetization or in-game monetization, like people spend the money in-game just to buy coins or something, or people spend the money to remove the ads, or people watch the ads and you get the money from the, I mean, from the iOS or from Android, from who, from publishers or from advertisement who are giving you advertisement. So what's your opinion? Like, which is the best way to monetize your game?
Zor, it depends on your game. It depends on your game. For example, we are developing mid-core games. So, sorry, by the way. Let me drink a water. Sorry. So we are developing a mid-core game, Make Wars. It's a battle of robots, and it's a multiplayer game. And we received Best Mobile Game Award in Turkey last week. It's going pretty well. So in that game, it's a multiplayer game. It's mid-core. You need to upgrade your robots, and you need to buy new robots, new weapons, new guards. So in that game, the important thing is in-game purchase for us. It should be free, because first people should download it, play it, and get a little bit addicted. And after that, they will start to upgrade their robots. And after that, they will increase the speed of upgrading or buying new robots. Then they will start spending money. So in that type of game, of course, in-game purchase is really important and it should be free. But in hyper-casual games, it's difficult to sell people something in the game, because it's not a long-time game. Generally, it's 2 months, 3 months games that people play, and you should get money from advertisements there. But there should be a balance in-game purchase also. So in our game, we are if we give so much advertisement in our game, we see that the in-game purchases are decreasing. So people start to watch advertisements instead of buying items from your store. So there is a key balance there that you should keep. So instead, we are now trying to decrease the number of advertisements and try to increase the now in-game purchases. Now we are trying that thing, and we see that it works. So if people cannot watch advertisement and cannot earn something from there, they realize that they need to upgrade their robots by buying coins or by buying new robots. So that's actually, like in all games, there is not just one rule or one solution like here. So first you should check your game, what type of game are you doing, and what kind of monetization method is the best for you. So it's like 6 months are 6 months of our game after the final version, and we are still trying to find the best monetization way for our game. So we are still changing the amounts of advertisement or the other side. So it's, you need to find the perfect balance in order to get the best money. But there should be also a case that you should never show advertisement after you see that your game is going well. I suggest to cut the advertisement also, and we will try in our game in the future that thing also. But of course, as I said earlier, data, you should check the data. So you are making some changes on your game, but after that you should check the data and see the results, how it affects your sales or how it affects your users.
So you're, as a business development director, and you're talking about data, and I am 100% agree with you. Data is really, really important. So I want to ask just a general question to all of you guys, and it's about what can you tell to I'm telling about Turkish and Azeri and Azerbaijan beginner game developers. What you can suggest them, what to do, just a general thinking.
Then I can continue maybe, Zor?
Yeah, you can continue, and after
Okay, because I already talked about some teams in the game studio. I can continue from there. So this is like every startup. This is a complex thing to develop a game. So I suggest them not to be alone. If they are starting to this business, they need to find some co-founders. And as I said, development is one thing. So one co-founder should develop game, and the other co-founder, it would be perfect if he or she has know-how on marketing, and the other co-founder, it should be perfect if he or she has know-how on data analyzing. And of these three co-founders, I think I mentioned three of them. These three co-founders, it should be good if they previously developed any games earlier, or if they had a chance to analyze how a game development procedure is going on. So if they don't get these know-how, there will be high probability they don't will be successful. So alone, it's very difficult. They need to have a good team, and not just employees, but as co-founders. But
thank you very much. Actually, yeah, it's really a very good suggestion. And what about Mr. Efe?
As you know, we are currently incubating more than 44 teams, and in the short history of Game Factory, which is just a year, we had more than 5 studios that actually outgrew in Game Factory and got investments, or started working with professional publishers and became an actual studio, an actual company. And we've just managed this all online. The guys just met on our Game Factory platform. They never seen each other before, and they just got an investment a few months back. And we had the scenarios, we had the stories lots of times. So we pretty much have an experience about seeing how potentially the studio can grow, also an incubator can grow. And what we did was simply building a network and putting those new developers, new entrepreneurs, let's say, we just put them in the same platform. We just put them together, and we gave them free education. I think the best advice to give is to be hungry, because like you could give someone the world, you can give someone the whole experience, the whole powers to do something, but those particular person has to have the ambition, has to have the hungriness for learning and working for it, working hard for it. Like this is just a common sense. I know it's just a typical story, but for game development or for anything else in the world, this is true. Like if that person is going to be successful or going to be someone, do something, it's in the end it depends on him or her. So what we did as an opportunity, we gave those hungry developers, we gave those hungry entrepreneurs, we gave those hungry people who didn't know anything about gaming industry or development, we gave them a huge network, we gave them free education and free mentoring. And after a while, they started forming teams because we just brought them together. So as Özgür mentioned, a team inside, they should also have a diverse name of roles and job. A developer, a data analyst, a marketing specialist. So what they did was simply brought them together to create teams all online, and they started learning from each other. Also, we gave them free education in many subjects like game development, Unity, and if you want to go for to be a 3D artist, here's a Blender or Maya education for you. If you want to make some UI UX, here's an UX education. Here's Adobe Illustrator education for you. So we simply gave them those free education and brought them together, and we started mentoring them and asking their questions. So my only suggestion is to stay hungry, use your network really well, and try to stay and get in the gaming network, because network sometimes is everything. It can lead you to different opportunities. You can meet your next co-founder, next partner over there. So don't miss on opportunity. Stay hungry. That's my motto actually.
Right, it's really very important to be hungry in our industry. So
yeah,
I agree 100%. So what about Mr. Murat? So I think also he will agree with Mr. Efe, and maybe you have something to add, Mr. Murat.
Yeah, actually, I definitely agree with Efe, and also Özgür, the team is also important, and to be hungry is important. And I can say maybe another thing, if at the very beginning, if you have the team, you have to focus on the games first, but maybe to start with the hyper casual genre will be easier for the first time game developers, because not only easily funded by the publishers, but also you can see the output of your teams very fast. And it is very important because you see if this team is right or not at the beginning, and you can see it very fastly. And then you can switch any genre of game you want to develop. That's the first case I want to mention. And the second, most of the early stage game startups think much more about the money before the game. This is a gaming story, actually. This is a gaming play. You have to first focus on your game. Then
it's a mistake. It is a mistake. Yeah, it is a big mistake that usually people think about first about the money after the game. So you have to think, right, you're right. You have to think first about the product and after the perspectives of this product.
And the third mistakes made by the studios that I saw frequently, they think that if they can get an investment or they start to work with a publisher, with a deal, they think they can make money without the game, just the investment money or the publisher's payments. This is not the case. If you are in the gaming industry, you can only make money from your game. The other ones is not your money.
Exactly. So you have to focus on your game, not to the investment. Yeah, so guys, I would like to thank to all of our speakers today for their priceless speeches. And actually this discussion was the first one in Azerbaijan, and before this, I think there was no like this discussion, and it really was very priceless. So, and at the end also, I would like to tell to our developers in Azerbaijan and also in Turkey, to stimulate their journey in game development industry to reach success. And there is some points I want to add. As I know, most of them watching now, and they will watch after also, because we had a very interesting discussion here. So these are what you need to have with you in successful game development project. It's my opinion. First is right idea and right concept. The second is proper planning. Third is psychological approach. The fourth is permanent team focused on success, not on the money, but on success. The fifth one is a leader. You need to have a leader trusted by the team, because the team without leader will not get any success. You need to have one leader from your team. And the sixth is you need to have a proper marketing strategy. And the seventh, at the end, you have to be the first customer of your game yourself. That you need to know, do you like this game or not? And future of the gaming is yours. Let's make future a better place. Again, thank you to all of our speakers. It was really very good, very nice, and I hope that all of our audience, they like our discussion, and bye to everyone. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye, Zar.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a nice event.
Thank you.